Kicking It with Bill. And today I have some of my best friends on there. Some of my long time friends. I'm going to go back many years. Today I have with me Jerry Thomas and Ron St. Germain, master engineer. All of the cats that made, listen, they made me. Those two cats made me. Without those two guys, I wouldn't be who I am today.
It is an
So I
honor.
want to
Yes.
thank you guys. I want my fans to meet Ron St. Germain and Jerry Thomas. Check them out, fellas. Thank
Hey,
you.
Ron.
Thank you.
Ron.
And
Yeah.
also
You
with me, I have
notice
my
though?
main man, Zack. Zack is over in the corner.
I think I
running
saw him in
all
the
the-
Flatbush one morning about 6 in the morning, walking the street, talking to the garbage men.
They told me I could get a COVID shot here. What am I doing here?
Great. Fellas, this has been a day. This has been a day. But I'm so glad to have y'all. We finally got it together, and we've been talking about this for a long time. I'm gonna dive right into it. Jerry Thomas,
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell the folks a little something about yourself. Where you come from, all that good stuff, where you was born.
I was from New York, originally born and raised in the Bronx. I'm not gonna mention no years because then I put a timestamp on you. But I was just a little thing when I met you. But we were. I was fortunate to have the advantage of the New York City public school system when music was still being offered in public education. So in junior high school, I learned how, or took up the trumpet. I kind of taught myself how to play it, to the chagrin of my neighbors who had to listen to all that bad stuff back in those days, and then went to music and art high school. And then after graduating, I met Bill Curtis, playing in a band called Ron Anderson and the Versatiles. Ron
Wow.
was our drummer who alternated with Jimmy Johnson when Bill wasn't working with his own band. I met Bill in a weekend dance group we used to play with called Ron Anderson and the Versatiles back in the year, right? And then at the time I was with Jimmy Castor and the Jimmy Castor Bunch, but while I was doing those weekend gigs with Ron, Bill told me about a group he was trying to start and would I help him with some of the recording because he knew I was interested in doing the recording. So that's how we started our relationship a long time ago.
So you were with Jimmy. How long before Fatback?
Let's see. I joined Jimmy in '69. Yeah, in
Well, it wasn't
1969.
called the Jimmy Castor Bunch at that time, was it?
It was Jimmy Castor. Yeah, it was just
Just
Jimmy
Jimmy
Castor.
Castor. Okay.
Yeah. And then shortly after that, because the original group he had back then when he had the record Hey Leroy, that band kind of disbanded and then turned into the Jimmy Castor Bunch. That was maybe about 1970, late 70, 71. Yeah.
Okay.
Who was in that Jimmy Castor band? Wasn't it the guitar player? What was the guitar player? I remember who was in that band, was it?
You talking about the original band, or you talking
Yeah,
about Monty
the original band.
Williams? I think
Oh, that was
Williams was his last name. He was a mailman
yeah,
on the side.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember Monty. Monty was good, and uh, Roland,
yeah.
bass player. Reggie Barnes was the drummer.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy was from Queens too, wasn't he?
Um, Jimmy was born in Harlem,
Uh-huh.
up there, just above Sugar Hill.
Uh-huh.
But at the time I met him, he was living in Queens. He was living in
Yeah.
Queens, yeah. Before he moved out to New Jersey and then to Vegas,
Hmm.
where he was when he passed away.
Jimmy was one of the few cats that migrated to Vegas. I think he was one of the first.
Yeah, he did. He
Migrate.
got out. He
Yeah.
got out. He used to live not far from me, 17 miles away.
Yeah, in Mawa,
Mawa,
New Jersey.
exactly.
New Jersey, yeah.
That's right. Well, I'm in North Jersey too now, Kinnelon. So been here for 22 years now, going on 23.
Oh,
After 30 in the city,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Ron, tell me a little something about yourself.
Well, uh, decided I want to learn how to make records. I looked on the back of my favorite records and I made a list of 3 studios. The top 3, it was Record Plant, A&R, and Media Sound. Bell Sound was another one who made practically all the hit singles in
Yeah,
the 60s. They were
yeah,
incredible. And of course, I worked at all of those ever since. And in those days, there was no way to learn how to record except to go to a studio. So I let my fingers do the walking, and I looked up in the yellow pages, literally in the yellow pages, uh, their phone numbers, and I just blind called up Record Plant, and I said, I'm Ron St. Germain, and this is what I've done, and I want to learn how to make records. And they said, well, let me put you on to the studio manager. The studio manager got on, Mitch Plotkin. I remember his name to this day, Mitch Plotkin. He gave me a job, and you know what? As it turned around, about 10 years later, I gave him a job managing media. I was able to get him in on that, but that's just, he's also the guy who fired me 2 weeks later, but that's another story. I got some funny stories on the way, but long story short, he said, come on in and we'll do the interview. And while I'm doing the interview, he says, well, when can you start? I says, as soon as I finish all this paperwork. He said, well, hurry up. So I finished and I went boom downstairs. As I'm going through the door, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and I'm like, holy shit! Inside, you know, my whole heart was going boom boop, boom boop, boom boop, boom boop. I said, I'm meeting the Beatle. You know, I'm not even across the threshold. So I said, hi, I'm Ron St. Germain, and I work here. And that was the start. He says, well, I'm John Lennon, and this is me wife, Yoko. I said, well, I knew that. Pleased to meet you. And that was it.
yeah.
In 1980, it came to backstroking.
Uh-huh.
And we
We
did
mixed
that
that in
out.
Virginia, didn't we?
We
Didn't we mix that?
But
Didn't we mix that in
we didn't
Virginia?
start. Yeah, well, yeah, we mixed it. The final mix and everything was in Virginia, but we didn't start out in Virginia. We started out about yeah.
In Brooklyn, right?
it was at Rock Studio in Flatbush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the basement. We did the
Restoration.
vocals there. We tracked it. I think we tracked it at Right Track. Oh wait. Was that the one we did in Virginia?
Yeah.
We mixed it in Virginia. We didn't
We
record
did?
it there, but we mixed it there. Yeah, in Richmond.
Okay. Oh, at Alpha Audio.
Yeah,
I was wondering which song we did there. We only did one song there, and you know what? That was the only gold record that studio ever got. They shut down a few years after that. But the guy, I'm good friends with the guy who owned that studio, and he's got a studio now called In Your Ear, and it's it's because you guys were on tour now. Now it's starting to come back. We mixed
No, we wasn't on tour. You decided we was going from studio to studio, trying to get the right mix, and I was not happy with none of the mixes you have. And you say, Bill, it's costing you too much money up here trying to get what you want. He say, I have a friend had a studio down in Richmond that'll give us a good rate, and you can go down there and live with it and get what you want, and it won't be killing you in your pocket so bad. That's how we got to Richmond.
Okay, I was wondering how we got there. Fantastic. Good. Well, I'm glad we did. It worked out. But I remember doing the vocals, and of course, I come from that school where you take everything.
Yeah.
Always. And we got a bunch of people together over there, and Rock's place, man. I don't know what his boy, but it was a little funky, and I thought it was kind of strange to have a studio in the basement of a church. But He did. And I think he was actually living there too. Seems like he had an apartment there as well.
Across the street, he had an apartment.
Okay. Well, he had something going on in the back room. But as we were running it down, he didn't have enough headphones, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'd always get everybody in the back, you know, in the room for hand claps and group vocals.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many times I had my hands so sore from clapping on our records. You know, you know, and then of course we have to double and triple depending on how many people we had to get it to sound like a party. But we were doing the vocals, so I was running it down on the speakers, and I was recording it. And then you came in, I played it back, and you said, "Well, that's it." And I said, "But I had the speakers on." He said, "Ah, it sounds great," and it did. It made it sound bigger, and it gave it a live. So,
Yeah.
So great, fantastic. We kept it, and boom, it's a hit. And I got to tell you one other story about that song, man, that I will never ever forget. I hope, because it was so amazing. I came in one summer, I think it had to be the summer of 80, 81, somewhere in that neighborhood. And they had this big college football playoff on. And there was some band from, I thought it was Atlanta, I don't know. It was a high school marching band. And there was 60 kids in this band. And it was all tubas and all drums. And I come and I flipped that thing on and I said, and the drums are going, man, and the funky drums, and I'm scrambling for the videotape, right? I didn't have it hooked up to the thing. I'm going, oh shit, man, I'm trying to get a tape to get backstroking, all tuba, all drums. It was incredible. And of course, by the time I got the tape in, that was it. It was never a replay, but man, that. Can you imagine 60 tubas and drummers just go in? The guy, the majorette, he had the funkin' dude, big leg girls with trumpets, big leg guys, bacon everywhere. It was incredible.
Ron, I want to hear some of Jerry's experiences in the studio and recording with Pat. Tell me some of your stories, Jerry.
I don't know if I can tell those stories, Bill. I mean, I know. Wow. You know, Bill with the Sinatra mic and the Remy Martin and the Cavassier.
That was JD, bro.
Oh, that too.
There was a lot of Jack. There was sometimes 1 or 2 bottles of mix.
Well, Susan will make sure I had a Jack Daniels on the console when I come in.
I know she did. I know she did.
Susan knew how to do it.
I know. And then the more you drank, Bill, you sneak up behind my chair. This is my chair. Sneak up behind the chair, right? And I'm down there, and you kind of come up and you're just leaning over me like this, like the umpire over the catcher. You're going with your knee in the back of the chair. Put the big legs on it, Ronnie. Put the big legs on it. Come on, Ronnie. Give me the big legs. Give me the big legs.
Hey, Ron, ask Tony about Bill. Ask Tony Bon Jovi about Bill.
Oh, I know.
Tony used to say, when we be ready to mix, and I said, well, you know, I got to go out on tour with Jimmy because we got some gigs coming up. When you coming back? When you coming back so we can postpone the day so you get back?
Yeah, I know. He's one of the reasons I got hooked up with you guys. He said, you do this. Go do this percussion. Go do this.
So let me ask y'all a question. The three of y'all, didn't y'all work on that UFO
didn't you
song?
do something with Tony Champagne, Sly Sylvester? Remember him?
Yeah, Tony Sylvester?
Tony Sylvester.
Yeah, from Main Ingredient.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And then he was with Ace Spectrum after that.
Yeah.
And they did a cover of Third Rate Romance, Low Rent Rendezvous. And they got into a fight. This is the first time I saw guns on a session.
That was a serious fight.
No comment.
Well, they weren't really fighting. They were just yelling at one another about who's the baddest N-word. Who's the
Same thing.
Then they'd start to get one of them would stand on the couch in Studio B, right? To get taller than the others. I'm the baddest N-word now. Yeah. And then the motherfuckers Champagne stands up on the meter bridge of the console. And that's when I went upstairs to Tony, who was up in the office with Susan playing the rest. I said, Tony, you got to come down here, man. These guys are trying to kill one another and they're walking on the board. And Tony just laughed. He came down.
And what about this UFO song y'all all worked on? All three of y'all. Yeah, I brought it up. Bill. Yep. Y'all need to know what I'm talking about.
Jared don't remember that one.
Come on now.
I
Where did
remember
the engineer go? It's in the song, man. It's in the song.
Where did the engineer go?
Come on,
Down. We did that at Rock Studio. You remember that, Jared? That's when we did that in the old Rock Studio. And
Bill, one take Bill. Because if you didn't get that one, you could forget about getting the second one.
Yep. Especially in those days.
Funny story, right? When we did it Up Against the Wall. Up Against the Wall was huge in Texas, right? They loved Up Against the Wall in Houston. Matter of fact, when I went to visit my daughter, Bill came with me. They wanted him to sing it while he was there.
I'm trying to find
Bill
it.
Bill couldn't sing it the day after he recorded it. We went on a promotional tour, right? The record company said, "I want you to go out." So we were doing it for
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. So got to go to a couple of places. Bill wouldn't go, right? So now we're in Houston. It's me, Mean Machine, and King Tim trying to throw it all up against the wall. That was some of the funniest stuff. But fortunately, all they wanted to do, and once they heard the music, the crowd was going on, they were singing it, so we didn't have to do much. But I don't think only that Bill only does the early stuff. You know, going home to see my baby. Ricky Wacky. He don't sing none of the later stuff where he had the Sinatra mic.
Right.
Can't remember the words. He don't know what he said.
Well, we had a lot of sessions there at Right Track in the 80s.
Yeah.
We did a lot of mixing there, man. There was
I got one for you, Ron.
Chicken too, late night.
Monkey Hill.
Yeah.
Monkey Hill.
Ames should say it all, but anyway.
Oh boy. Cool Whip. That was another one, 81. Yeah. Oh, On the Floor, 82. She's My Shining Star. That's another one. Girl, we did a lot of stuff together. Is this the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
Is that the one we had the birthday cake? Is this the future? Is this the one where we had Ron's birthday cake, Jerry?
I'm not sure. That was the birthday cake at 39th Street upstairs.
That's where it was. This is the future. That's the future. Is this the future?
Oh man. Well, the cake was killing, but what happened afterwards, I will never tell. All I can say is that was the best birthday of my life. Turning 30. Turning 30 is one for the books.
I had to go all over New York trying to find someone who would make that cake. Wouldn't nobody touch it. I went up in the Spanish neighborhood. They say, yes, we do these every day.
Yeah, that was my most memorable and favorite birthday cake ever, Bill. Thank you very much.
Jerry,
Yeah.
I need a question, and I wanted to know who played the keyboards on "Chilling Out."
Oh, that was Onaje.
Onaje Allen Gums.
Right.
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
remember because someone asked me who did the solo on that. That was Onaje.
Okay, okay.
Why I brought it up was I was looking at Incognito newsletter came out this week, and at the bottom he had his favorite songs that he had to when he's depressed and everything and want to cheer up, and he said one of the how he chills out is a Fatback tune called "Chilling Out."
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Bluesy has it down. It's the last one. It's the last comment on his newsletter. Yeah.
But Bill,
Yes.
chilling notwithstanding, you're not getting away without describing that birthday cake.
you brought it up, Bill.
You brought
You brought it up.
This birthday cake was a little X-rated. I really can't talk about this. But all I can say, Ron enjoyed the cake, and the first thing he did was put his face in the cake.
Red Love.
Yes, yes, yes. And later that day, whole nother story. All right. Well,
Wait, Jerry.
This is.
I still believe that's that little. Yeah, I believe that's Ron. I believe that's Ron.
I don't think so.
I'll go to Ancestry.
They need a DNA on this one.
I'm ready. Bring it.
Ron, tell them about the night of the blackout at Media Sound. You remember the big blackout in New York?
The blackout of '77.
Yeah.
And we were recording, and we had
I was on the piano putting it down for it.
Is that the night we took the mics outside?
Yeah.
Is that when we took the mics outside?
No, what I remember we took the mics outside for girls, where we tracked the bus.
Right.
The tire jam.
Yep.
Yeah, we were just hanging out on the night of the blackout, listening to all the cop cars go down to the Diamond District.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Do you remember the break drum? You remember the break drums in the studio?
I remember the break drums. Yes, indeed.
I came in with a break drum to record the break drum.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that was huge in Trinidad. They used to take those things. You know, they used to like the ones from the Ford vans.
Yeah.
Because they had the right density and the right pitch for a lot of their stuff. They would take them in Trinidad and they'd just throw them in the fire and beat on those things, let them get red hot, and then they beat on them until they got to where they wanted them.
Yeah, they toot them. Huh?
Some of them weighed 40 pounds, and they got the metal thing in between, and they're doing during carnival, and they throw them things up 15 feet in the air and grab them. I don't know how they don't break their arms. Unbelievable. Incredible. That's a mainstay in that Trinidadian soca.
Yeah. Zack, Zach, you have any question for Ron? You got any question for Jerry?
You take a USB and just take all my knowledge, plug it in there.
Well, you know what? I don't know if I can think of no questions right now. I'm sure when we hang up, have some. But I want Jerry to know, and I'll get to Ron next. I told Jerry earlier that as I'm older, I listen to what he did or what y'all did earlier. The music just sounds incredible, man. What y'all had going on, man. It's just the creativity is just it's immaculate.
It was
And
so
Ron, I told you I don't think I've met anyone that can mix like you, bro. It's incredible, man. And to put you two guys together with Bill Curtis, man, it was just I'm just happy to be here, man. To witness it, you know. So ups to all of you.